You've got to be kidding. God says that I actually have to think the same thing as someone else? First of all, we live in a world where we're all supposed to be independent, right? But we also live in a world where we have lived through so many agreements where you come away thinking they don't really agree, but they just found something they could say that both sides could read their own opinion into. And sometimes when it comes to religion, we think that's the best we can hope for. That let's just get all Christians together and have them say they agree, even though we know that they really don't, but find something that they can agree on and just leave it at that. Do you think that that's God's goal for Christians? Not at all. The Lord wants those who confess his name to be completely agreed in their thinking, not just in what they might say, but in their thinking about what God's truth is. Now, how could God have expectations as high as that? Well, because he's the one who communicates truth. He wants himself to be represented well. He doesn't want his truth to be represented as if it could mean 3 or 5 different things. As much as it might be hard to come to an understanding of what the truth is, I think the one thing we can agree on is that God is not making confusion with his words. His intention is not to make it possible for people to say he's saying 100 or 3 different things. No, whatever confusion comes about must be a result of our sin. If that's what God encourages, yes, even commands, that we think the same thing, then how in the world is that ever achieved? Well, let's say first off that it's a miracle, right? It's something that only God can work. But then how does God work that miracle? He works that miracle as people go back to his word, as they are diving deeply and thinking carefully and not imposing their reason on the word, but making their reason subject to the word. And would it make sense that God has a very clear message that he is seeking to communicate in the Bible? That's the only thing that makes sense. And that helps make sense. Words that the Apostle Paul shared with his fellow Christians in the city of Corinth. Finally, brothers, goodbye. Aim for perfection. Listen to my appeal. Be of one mind. Live in peace, and the God of love and peace will be with you. That be of one mind. Literally, think the same thing. This is what God commands of us. May God miraculously work that in us.